Duel of FridayNightGlory.com here with Cleveland Browns wide receiver Rashard Higgins at his Make 'em Believe camp today. Rashard, you're here in Mesquite where you went to high school. Saw that you stopped by their practice yesterday and invited them all out here. I'm sure it's got to be inspiring for the kids, but how important is it to you to be back here in DFW and contributing to the youth football community?
Oh, you know what? I feel like it's big. Just being an inspiration to kids, and not only that, but to show them the way and show them that if you work hard enough and you just believe in yourself, then you can go a long way. You just got to dream about it, see it, and then put it into action, man, and it'll happen.
Right. And before going on to about the camp, you talk a lot about believing. I read up about how your first couple years have gone, and I'm sure there's been some times where maybe you had a hard time believing, but you stuck with it. What's been the key to being where you are after maybe some rocky steps in your first couple years in the NFL?
You know what? It had to be where I came from. It just gave me a lot of motivation. Just being in low-income environments all my life and one-bedroom apartment with 5 people, man. I see that in the back of my head, and when I'm grinding, I'm out here thinking about that in the back of my mind. So I never want to go back to it, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to prevent it, and I'm gonna work hard as I can.
All right, man. Well, that's an awesome story, and it's even better to know that you're out here trying to help other kids get to that same spot. Maybe they come from the same background as you. What I saw today when I was watching the camp, but first of all, I saw you running around real interactive with the kids, but also a lot of your coaches too. I'm not sure if they're your friends or maybe just some people you've known. How important was it to you to bring certain people here today who could interact with these kids?
You know what? I tried to bring different guys from big to small, from older to young. I brought my receiver coach just to get them a feeling of how I'm coached and how it is for guys to be in the NFL. So when I'm out there running around with the kids, I want to show them that, oh, this is how I get out my break. This is how you do this drill, and this is how it indicates, and this is how it's put into the route running. So I mean, it all correlates, and I thank everybody for coming out because they were in my shoes just like me. We had some ties together. They played football with me, or they're my closest friends. So just want to say thank you to those guys, and I'm glad this came out to a success.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to be everybody having a good time, some great competition. How important was it to you to actually, be in there in the middle of the field with the kids, giving them some tips maybe after somebody dropped the ball or something like that, What kind of advice did you give maybe after those unfortunate drops or great plays?
You know what? My thing is you're not perfect. It's going to happen. It happens to the best. You just got to move on. Just know the next play is the best play, and you just can't doubt yourself, man. You just got to move on, and the next play could be where you score your touchdown, man. The previous could have been a 5-yard game, but the next one could be a touchdown, and if you drop the touchdown, then how you supposed to, you feel me? So it's just me coming out here and being an inspiration to these guys, and that's the biggest thing. Because I remember me going to a Cowboys game, a guy didn't give me a high five, and that kind of made me mad. And in my head, I'm thinking, how can I prevent that? So me coming out here, interacting with the kids, talking to them, giving them high fives, just giving them love and encouragement. That's what it's all about.
Right. Yeah, one of the things I like that you said when I was standing on the side, I saw somebody caught a ball, then kind of just went out of bounds, and you kind of gave them something saying, why didn't you finish it off? That might have been the only chance you got to catch the ball the whole game, You want to stand out in that moment, and that was some really good advice, I thought, for sure. And then the message to close out the camp was attitude. Have the right attitude, because I'm sure there's plenty of guys that you've played with, whether it be in college or in the NFL, who are way, better, but
Absolutely.
they're kind of just jerks and they didn't carry themselves the right way, and it cost them opportunities. How important is that, to just not only carry yourself right on the field by finishing plays off in practice or in a game or whatever, and off the field, like you said, giving guys high fives, interacting with kids. Is that your main focus as a football leader, I guess?
Right. I feel like attitude goes a long way, man. It also ties into who you hang out with, what you do with the people you hang out with, who's all your friends, man. It goes down to the little things, and I feel like in order to get to where you want to be, you got to cut out the distractions. So, man, that's why I preach attitude and little things a lot. And with those things, you can go a long way.
All right, and then just to close it out, just talk about the Cleveland Browns. You know, you guys got Baker Mayfield. Saw Jarvis Landry came over in a trade, so that'd be pretty cool maybe to play with a big wide receiver like that. It can only go up from here, right? So how excited are you to get back to camp in a few weeks for the competition? I'm sure. I mean, the talent's there, you know. And what do you guys got to do to take that next step?
Oh, man, we grinding, man, every day. Every day we out here grinding. I know for me, I'm out here with D-Rob. And not only that, but the previous years wasn't as best as we want them to be. But we know that in order to get to where we want to be, we got to work for it. So we're not going to talk as much. We just going to put our head down and we're going to keep working, and we're going to get the best results out of it. So,
all right, man. Well, we appreciate you coming back to the DFW area, giving that back to the community. Looks like a lot of kids had a great time today and they learned a lot. So appreciate you taking the time to speak to us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Thanks,
having
man.
me.
Appreciate it, man.